are large quantitative models.
The wolf, she cries at night. A breath had born in the black wind where the shadows lie. Deep inside despair, our hearts grow
selling, find your happy place with AutoTrader.
Heartburn hits, have a Rennie ready.
Change your hair color? The new Garnier Good. Glossy color, 8 weeks long lasting.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Why Sensodyne? Sensodyne was recommended by friends and family. I used to have like pain on the one side. I literally had to avoid eating ice. And then I got Sensodyne at work. So now you can chew your ice. I'm drinking my ice.
The skyline's glowing, takes me back in time to laughter and long nights we left behind. We were young, wild under open skies, chasing horizons with open eyes. Yeah, I walk along where we once ran, through streets that still hold the shape of our plans. The skyline feels like a friend I knew, holds I've heard stories of distant lands, realms I long to reach. Your voice, it beckons me to go to worlds unexplored, to leave behind my home and wander.
Testing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 South Africa Super League tournament. Tonight's game featuring the Cape Town Kings versus the Pretoria Capitals in a rematch of a game taken by the Caps a few days ago. Tonight playing for the Pretoria Capitals, we have number 3, Chris Venter. Number 4 is Riley Paulson. Number 5 is Josh Roger. Number 6 is Franco Robinson, who celebrated a birthday last week, and Riley Paulson celebrating his birthday next week. Number 7 is Devon Vandermerwe. Number 8 is Stefan Kleitz. Number 9 is John Fenter. Number 10 is Dion Piccardi. Number 11 is Denzel Vervey. Number 12 is Reinhard Britz. Number 13 is Arthur Chu. Number 14 is Reinhard Fenter. Number 15 is Langa Malangeni. Number 16 is Guillaume Radu. Number 17 is Johan Vandermerwe. Number 18 is Vusi Skosana. And number 19 is Tian Vandermerwe. The goaltenders for tonight's contest, Ruan Vandermerwe is number 20 and Alistair Bywater is number 1. The head coach is Frank Radu and the manager is Chris Fenter. For the Cape Town Kings, we have number 4, Brendan Schultz, number 5, Reese Baker, number 6, Caleb McGibbon, number 7, Dean Mahmood, number 8, Wesley Croats, Mark Gio chalks in at number 9, Luke Carolse is number 10, Regan Dubasson is number 11, Danielle Kamish, the older half of the Kamish brothers, is number 12, Mish van Doesburg is number 13, Matthew Brandt is number 14, Ulemo Boy is number 15, Bradley Morris is number 16, Keenan Gordon, number 17, birthday boy celebrating his birthday day. Let's see if he can notch a goal for his team tonight on his birthday. Number 18, Alex Obery. Number 19 is the younger Kamish brother, Diane Kamish, at 22. Ethan Simon is number 23. Uthman Samai, the captain, is number 24. And the goalkeepers for Cape Town Kings, number 1 is Ryan Boyd, and number 20 is Connor Gilbert. The head coach of the Kings is Gavin Smith. The assistant coach is Sharif Kamish. The manager is Tracy Surf, and the trainer is Carolyn Lauter. The officials for this evening are referees Jason Van Royen and referee Diego Bota. The Hydra is being kept by Etienne Britz. The timekeeper is Ms. Liesel Radu. The statisticians are Dominique Stein, Ruan Miller, Guillaume Radu. They'll be keeping you up to date with the stats throughout the game. Each team just about ending their 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll have the first puck dropping in this rematch, the final Gauteng leg between the Cape Town Kings and the Pretoria Capitals. Should be an exciting rematch. The Pretoria Capitals are undefeated and looking to preserve their dominance in the Super League so far, and the Cape Town Kings looking to avenge their tough loss to the Capitals just 2 days ago. who are keeping our players well fed and is the favorite spot for all shopping by Gauteng-based hockey players and their families. And finally, the Spur Oak Ridge. We're also keeping our hungry players fed with delicious meals throughout the tournament. Thank you again to our sponsors, Manzi Water, the Spur, and Spar.
Hey, you, don't you worry about a thing. Oh no, so many dreams are waiting for you. Sing, hey, it's okay. Tomorrow's gonna be a new day. It's okay. So live your life, live your way. Your way, your way. It's okay, it's okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mums and dads, aunts and uncles, go-go's, brothers and sisters, and everyone watching the game, the puck is about to drop in the rematch between the Cape Town Kings and the Pretoria Capitals. Face-off won by the Kings. Back in their own zone, Mahmoud, long lead pass to Samai, banked off by Fenter all the way down the ice, played by Boyd. No icing. Boyd, far side pass to Baker. Good hit by Stefan Kleitz. Comes back to Venter. Van Doesburg. Shot by Bradley Morris. Kleitz headmans it to Reinhard Venter. Battle along the board. Gio loses it. Vandenberger chucks it back in. Here comes Gio with speed. Gio loses the puck. Simon, weak shot behind the net. Controlled by the Caps. Coming out. Arthur Chu can't get it out. Goes back to Vervey. Vervey plays it ahead. Too far. Simon. Here comes Dubasson. Battle for puck along the boards. Controlled by Aubrey. Aubrey back to his D. Simon. Long stretch pass. Intercepted by Malangeni. Chased hard in the corner by Picardi. Good solid hit against Brandon Schultz. Controlled by Vandermerve. Vandermerve intercepted. Dubasson dumps it in. Vandermerve behind his neck to Chu. Chu puts it in front of the net. Here comes Vandermerve. Can't get it past Kamish. Danielle Kamish dumps it in the corner. Picardi. Battle for the puck. Leaks out in front. Vandermerve easily controls. Picardi leaves it for Vandermerve. Vandermerve up to Vervey. Vervey clips it ahead to Mahmoud, long stretch pass to Baker. Baker tries to dangle, picked up by Fenter. Fenter charging across the blue line. Fenter, quick shot. Gloved by Boyd, who hangs on for a face-off. With 2.5 minutes gone in the first period, it's 0-0. Cape Town Kings versus the Pretoria Capitals. Face-off will be Kleitz versus Van Duisburg. Van Duisburg wins the draw. Samai carries it out of his own. Can't control it. Turned over. Fenter battle along the boards. Fenter takes a shot. Fenter scores! It may have been deflected in front by number 7, Devon Vandenberg. Not sure. We'll get the call now. But the puck definitely changed direction. It's an unassisted goal by number 14, Reinhard Fenter. The puck definitely changed direction. It was going glove high on goaltender Ryan Boyd and changed direction. Ended up in the bottom of the far corner. Must have hit a Kings player. But the Pretoria Capitals seem to have a recipe of shooting, getting lots of traffic in front. And they open the scoring with a 1-goal lead against the Kings 3 minutes into the opening period. Vandermerver rims it around. Taken by Picardi. Intercepted. Here comes Van Duisburg. Van Duisburg, quick shot. Blocked. Here comes Picardi with speed. Can't get it up. Gets it to Malangeni. Malangeni, come in, shoot! High. In the corner. Battle for the puck. Mahmoud rims it along the board. Down the ice. It will be icing. No. The puck does not get there. Chu almost loses in front of his own net. That was almost an own goal by Arthur Chu. Fortunately, it didn't go there. Hard pass. Back collected by Vervet. Aubry. There will be a penalty for interference. Against number 8, Wesley Croats. Wesley Croats will get 2 minutes for interference at 3:52 of the first period, bringing the Caps onto their first power play of the game. It'll be Stefan Kleitz against Van Duisburg with the face-off just to the left of Boyd. Bit of a draw, battle for the puck in the corner. Vandermeer tries to get up, intercepted by Samai, who ices it down the pike, just off net, played by Vandermerver. Fenter to Radu to Kleitz. Kleitz breaking in across the blue line. Kleitz trying to set up, intercepted by Kamish, and it goes back to Fenter. Fenter regrouping, enters the zone. Fenter pressing the net. Fenter, quick shot, backhand, stopped by Boyd, forcing a face-off to the right of the goalkeeper. Each team changing. It'll be Aubry versus Vervet in the face-off circle. And there is a timeout being called by the official. We have a medical emergency in the stands, which has caused a temporary interruption in the game. One of the spectators has passed out and will receive medical attention. And while that person is being attended to, we'll take a short pause in the action. I'm now here with Deborah Retief. Deborah Retief is the social media coordinator for GIA. Deborah, what are some of the things that GIA is doing to increase awareness of the sport in the province?
So it's wonderful to have the tournament here for the Gauteng leg. It gives us great coverage on socials, and there's a lot of engagement from fans that are following our actual pages. But we would love to do a little bit more around social media paid to get that awareness out further to a broader audience. And we've got a few ideas up our sleeves as well to get the awareness of ice hockey up in the Gauteng province. So very excited. And please, follow our social pages and like and comment and help us grow the sport as well.
I know you're very involved in women's hockey. What are you guys doing to promote women's hockey in the country?
So we actually have Double IHF has a girls' weekend coming up in October on the 19th. And that is a free entry for any woman to come and enjoy just a day of learning about ice hockey and having a skate around the ice rink, playing a few small games, and just to get used to it and see if that's something they can enjoy doing. So that's a wonderful initiative that comes from Double IHF, and we're looking forward to it.
That's amazing. Thank you, Deborah Retief. Good luck with all your development efforts.
Thanks.
We'll now resume action. It'll be Vervey versus Van Doesburg. To the right of goaltender Boyd. There's 1 minute exactly left in the Caps power play. Let's see if they can't capitalize. Face-off won by the Kings, who shoot it right down the ice. Van der Merwe coming into his own zone to collect the puck, being chased by Samai. Van der Merwe leaves it for Pakati. Pakati enters the zone. Pakati looking to set up in the Kings zone. Pakati in the corner. Tries to center it, failed. Kings clear it down the ice. Johan van der Merwe to his brother Tion van der Merwe. Headmans it too far for Vervey. Vervey picks it up again at center ice. Vervey dumps it in the corner and chases. Simon gets there first. Simon rims it around the boards. Kept in by Johan van der Merwe behind the net. Centered by Vervey. Boyd did a good job to keep that off his stick, and the Kings shoot down the ice. It's van der Merwe to van der Merwe. Rims it around. The penalty is over. The teams are playing full strength, 5-on-5. Melangeni in the corner. Chased by Mahmoud. Simon. Mahmoud shoots it around. Picked up by Kamish. Kamish can't get it out. Dubuisson. Van der Merwe back to Radu. Radu to Fenter. Fenter intercepted by Kamish. Danielle Kamish picked by Devon Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe, quick shot. Fans. Fans on. And Boyd covers up to force a face-off to the left of the Mother City goalkeeper. A little over 6.5 minutes gone in the first period. The Pretoria Capitals maintaining a 1-goal lead over the Cape Town Kings. Face-off Kleitz versus Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg wins the draw. Collects his own rebound. Van Doesburg trying to get out. Can't. Reinhardt. Fenter keeps it in. Morris. Morris over to Gordon. Samai at the blue line dumps it in. Collected by Fenter. Can't get it out. Baker. Baker fighting against Fenter. Goes to the point. Morris. Weak shot in front deflected. Doesn't get through. Fenter rims it around. Kleitz intercepted by Morris. Morris. Quick shot on net. Saved by Van der Merwe. Kleitz in the corner. Kleitz tries it forward. Gets it out. Will be icing. Icing by the Pretoria Capital will bring it all the way back into the Capital zone for a face-off to one side of goalkeeper Ruan Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe has played all 3 games for the Pretoria Capitals, prevailing in all 3 competitions so far. Boyd has also started a net for each game of the Cape Town Kings. Kleitz versus Aubrey. Aubrey wins the draw but can't control it. Radu battling Gio in the corner. Comes to Mahmoud. Mahmoud across to Krootz. Coates, fresh out of the box, coming in. Kept in by Gio. Gio along the boards. Fenter out to his brother Reinhard Fenter. Breaking across the blue line. Fenter gets around Mahmoud. There will be a penalty. Mahmoud will be called for holding, it looks like. Mahmoud will see 2 minutes in the sin bin for holding. That'll bring up the second power play of the evening at 8:26 of the opening period. The Capitals will go on their second power play. They failed to convert on the first one. Let's see if they have better luck in their second try. Van Duisburg versus Picardi. Picardi wins the draw. Picardi behind his net. Chase. And the puck will come outside the blue line. The Capitals were infringing in the goaltender crease of keeper Ryan Boyd, which is not allowed under IIHF rules. It is allowed under NHL rules, and they are trying to reconcile the two, but for the moment it remains impermissible in IIHF play. Face-off won by the Kings. Morris played it down all the way. No icing due to the penalty. Caps trying to break out of their zone. It's Vervey. Vervey to Vandermerve. Vandermerve, headlong pass to Malangeni. Malangeni and Morris battling behind the net. Puck recovered by Van Duisburg, who tried to shoot out. It hit Picardi, and the puck went over the net. There'll be a face-off inside the Cape Town zone. Kleitz versus Obery. Face-off won by Obery, who heads it to Gio. Kept in by the Caps. Puck almost goes off the net. And Boyd had to be sharp to keep that from being a second tally. An odd rebound almost cost the Kings another goal. For now it remains 1-0. Caps over Kings. Obery versus Kleitz. Won by Obery. Controlled by Vandermerve though. Vandermerve to the point. Radu, quick shot. Saved by Boyd. In the corner it's Kleitz. Looking to distribute. Kleitz back to Radu. Radu at the point. Takes a quick shot. Deflected by Fender in front. Just wide. Kamish knocks it down. Kept in by Vandermerve. Here's Fenter. Fenter. A shot. Boyd just got a piece of that. Behind the net it's Kleitz. Centers it. No one home. And the Kings get it out. Here comes Mahmoud on a breakaway. Fresh out of the box. Mahmoud shoots. Saved. Rebound. No penalty for being tied up. Oh, there is. Yes. There is a holding penalty against the Capitals because Mahmoud got a quick shot away but chased down the puck and was tied up by Radu, who will get 2 minutes for holding at 10:47 of the first period. Morris had a clear break to that net, and maybe Radu felt he had to take that penalty to save a really high-quality goal-scoring chance. Here's a quick shot by Baker, goes wide, and the Caps clear it down the ice. Gordon. Headman, here comes Samai on a partial breakaway. Samai, in on the goal, shoots! Wide. Centers it back in front, goes all the way down. Boyd will play it. Here comes Gordon. Gordon, no, Boyd. Boyd to Baker. Baker headmans it on net to avoid the icing call. Samai chasing. Baker keeps it in. Malangeni battling it. Comes back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud at center ice. Mahmoud headline to Van Duisburg. Van Duisburg shoots it far in the corner. Baker versus Vervey. Kept in by the Kings. Van Duisburg, no look back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud, hard shot from the point. Saved by Keeper Van der Merwe. Lots of traffic in front of the Capitals goalkeeper, who had to be sharp to see that puck through traffic and maintain their 1-goal lead. Aubrey versus Clyde. Clyde wins the draw cleanly, but Croats collects it. Croats back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud to Croats. On the power play. Can't control it. Put out by Skosana. Mahmoud at center ice. Mahmoud leaves it for Gio. Offside. Face off just outside the Cap zone, won by the Caps. Coming in with a strong forecheck though by Gio. Gio wins the puck, centers it, intercepted. Hard shot by Mahmoud. Good pad save by Van der Merwe. Had to get that blocker pad out real quick, and it's iced by the Caps. 30 seconds left in the penalty to Radu for holding. Caps, Kings unable to convert. Caps doing a good job defending it. Headline pass from Simon goes all the way. No icing, icing waved off. Good hustle by the Kings, by Kamish to wave off the icing. Now here comes Skosana. Skosana takes a quick shot, just over the net, goes wide. Kings break out. Headline pass to Kamish. Kamish can't control it. Put in by Duisburg. Dubasson. Morris at the point. Dumps it into Kamish. Kamish centers it. Cross ice to his brother. Quick shot blocked. Kings retrieve it. Here comes Kamish. Kamish in by himself. The penalty is over. We're playing 5-on-5. Morris crosses the blue line. Morris looking for support. Can't find any. Just carrying the puck in the corner. Morris. Morris being battled by Franco Robinson. Fenter has the puck in the corner. Fenter to Robinson, can't control it. Baker, quick shot. Pass from Simon to Van Duisburg. Samai to Van Duisburg. Knots the equalizer at 13:24 of the first period. That was a tic-tac-toe play from the captain, Uthman Samai, to Van Duisburg. Netting an assist on that, Bradley Morris also gets an assist on that opening goal for the Cape Town Kings, which brings the tally to 1-1. Just over 3/4 of the way through the first period of this rubber match between these two teams. Puck kept in by the Kings. Out to Van Duisburg, can't control it. Van der Merwe on Van Duisburg. Puck comes out, controlled by Gordon. Gordon to Mahmoud. Mahmoud to Van Duisburg. Van der Merwe and Van Duisburg battling. Vervey. Vervey across to Chu. Collected by Van der Merwe. Fires it in the corner. Malangeni in the corner. Kings try to get it out. A bit too far. Aubrey's pass. Collected by Van der Merwe. Now it's Pakadi. No call. Oh, there was a call and there was no call. Now there's a call. It'll be a penalty to the Kings for roughing. Wesley Krotz, so there's a bit of a chatter there. There's a bit of a... Kleitz and Krotz are exchanging words at the penalty box. The Krotz hops over to serve 2 minutes for roughing. That's the second penalty for Krotz. He put the Cape Town player over the boards, and initially there was no call, but I think when he pushed him right over the boards, he maybe just extended it a little too long and invited the wrath of referee Jason Van Rooyen. But the initial hit, which put the Caps player halfway over the boards, was no call. But maybe when he helped him over, it was just a bit too much. Third power play for the Caps. A nice hit by Samayan Radu at the blue line. Here comes Van Duisburg battling Fenter. Reinhard Fenter tries to pass to Kleitz. Broken up. Here comes Samai. Samai and Radu. Samai gets by Radu in the corner. Samai and Fenter battling for the puck in the corner. Capitals have a power play, but haven't done much with it. Captain Uthman Samai, he'll get a shot. Oh, just at the last minute, the Caps got their stick in there. Vandermerver to Fenter. Fenter trying to dance around two Kings players. Puck ends up with Vandermerver, shot! Blocked. Kleitz in the corner. Kleitz to Vandermerver. Too much, referee gets in the way. It's Fenter in the corner. Fenter with pressure. Back to Vandermerver. No. It's shot down the ice. With 45 seconds left to go in the penalty to Krutz. So far the Caps really haven't got anything going. They'll have one, maybe two more rushes to try and break the logjam in this game. Here comes Pacati. Pacati gets around Kamish. Pacati in the corner. Pacati shoots wide, rimmed all the way around down the ice with 20 seconds left in the penalty against Krutz. Vandermerver to Pacati. Pacati up to Vervey. A little strong. Coming in on goaltender Boyd. Vervey collects it. Dangerous play by Boyd. Malangeni to Vervey. Vervey to the point. A shot by Vandermerver deflected wide into the corner. Malangeni checked by Morris. Pacati tries there. High stick. Yes. High stick by the Capitals on that play. Puck will come outside the zone. The penalty has expired. The teams are 5-on-5. So far, the Kings have not conceded a power play goal in the 1-1 draw in their rubber match being played tonight at Festival Ice Rink in Pretoria, South Africa. Face-off is Chris Fenter versus Aubry. Won by Aubry, but collected by Tion Vandermerver. Vandermerver across to Roger. Can't get it out. Aubry dancing in the corner. Aubry wheels. Dashes it back into the corner to Krotz. Krotz can't collect it. Shot around the point, kept in by Gordon. Gordon at the point. Fires it ahead to Gio, can't keep it in, and the Caps break out. It's Chris Fenter across the blue line. Collected by Riley Paulson. Gio rims it around to Gordon, can't collect it. Van Duisburg in the corner. Fires it across to Morris. Morris up the boards to Samai. Samai across ice to Van Duisburg. Van Duisburg centers it. Directed in the corner with a stick. Van Duisburg, quick shot from the point. Blocked. Collected by Mahmoud. Mahmoud to Baker. Baker up to Samai. Samai can't corral it. Taken by Pacati. Pacati out to Malangeni. Malangeni to Vervey. Vervey breaking in. Quick shot. Blocker save. Directed to the corner by Boyd. Malangeni. Malangeni checked by the Kings. At the point, quick shot by Vandermerver goes wide. Collected by Baker. Puck leaks out at center ice. It's Pacati. Pacati to Vervey. Dubasson behind his own net. Dubasson trying to get it out. Hit Kamish. Puck goes down the ice. Could be icing. It is. Play will come back into the King zone with 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the first period. Ice conditions are a bit soggy here at Festival today, so they will do a quick clean of the sheet, try and pick up some of that water before we resume the second period. Face off, looks like it's Dubuisson against Fenter. Face off won by Fenter. Controlled by Paulson, back to the point. Roger shovels it into the corner. Kings rim it around. Kamish. Dubuisson just fires it out. A bit strong. Definitely inviting icing. Face off will to be the left of Boyd. It'll be Dubuisson versus Kleitz. Quick shot, saved by Boyd. A sharp shot by Radu from the point, but no traffic in front. And Boyd saw that marker, that missile, heading in his direction the whole way. Kleitz versus Obery now. Won by Obery, but gets it back to the point. Fenter, shot, saved again by Boyd. With Capitals failing to generate any traffic in front of Mother City keeper Boyd, who's caught the last two shots from the point without difficulty. Puck in the corner. Morris and Kleitz battling for the corner with Krotz and Van der Merwe. Fierce battle for the puck deep in the corner. Comes out Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe to the point to Radu. Radu, quick shot for the point. Pad save by Boyd. Kleitz behind us. Centers, intercepted by Krotz. Comes out to Gio. Can't get down the ice. Fenter has to wait. Gets it inside, collected by Van der Merwe. Passes it into the center, no one home. Here comes Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg. Dumped back in by Van der Merwe with 5 seconds left. Mahmoud. Headline pass to Samai. Can't get it through before the final whistle of the first period. 1-1 between the Cape Town Kings and the Pretoria Capitals after 20 minutes of play in their rubber match in this 2025 South Africa Super League contest.
timeless? Now that's forever.
I'm here with Frank Radu, the head coach of the Pretoria Capitals. Frank, what's your assessment after 20 minutes of play?
It's a good game. It's an up and down game. The game is, unfortunately, we have had bad luck not putting the goals in. They had good luck on a bad change of ours. They scored on that. They capitalized. But yeah, there's still 40 minutes to go.
And what do you think your boys have to do to pull away in the second period?
Just keep on doing what they're doing, grinding, working, grinding. That's all.
You like what you see so far?
A lot. They're working hard. My third line's not getting that much ice because, yeah, the Kings are not playing their third line, so I can't put my third line on against their first and second line. So, yeah, let's see.
Frank Radu, the head coach of the Pretoria Capitals.
Thanks.
Are they doing a straight again after the second?
when I'm faded. You're the picture perfect, you're my mind painted. And I don't wanna lose what we've got tonight. Baby, 'cause your love's like a dynamite. I don't wanna love you when I'm faded. I can feel your heart need to save it. 'Cause your love's underrated. 'Cause your love's underrated. And I don't wanna lose what we've got tonight. Baby, 'cause your love's like a dynamite. I don't wanna love you when I'm faded. I can feel your heart need to save it. 'Cause your love's underrated.
Welcome back to the rubber match between the Pretoria Capitals and the Cape Town Kings, the second of two games played by these teams in the Joburg leg, the Gauteng leg of the South Africa Super League tournament this year. We're about to begin the second period with the score tied 1-1 between these two teams. Be Kleitz, Vandermerwe, Venter, Radu, and Venter starting for the Capitals. It'll be Aubrey, Samai, Mahmoud, Van Duisburg, and Morris and Baker starting for the Kings. Puck's about to drop at center ice. Capes win the draw. Morris puts it up. Venter drives it down, collected by Mahmoud behind his own net. Mahmoud looking for an outlet pass. Hits the back of Van Duisburg. Samai fires it up and it clears the rafters for Baker, who's taken out by Radu but gets through. Baker behind his net, centers it. Van Duisburg couldn't corral the puck. It's controlled by Vandermerwe in the corner. Vandermerwe across to Venter. Venter dangles Gordon, dangles Baker, sorry. Collected by Mahmoud, who rims it across the net and down the ice. Icing is waved off. Radu chased by Krotz. Krotz, turnover, Krotz takes a quick shot, saved by Mueller. Puck behind the net with Radu. Back to Krotz. Krotz looking for a pass, centers it high. Into the corner, Simon. Venter brings it out, gets it to center ice. Simon tries to get to Gio, collected by Kleitz. Kleitz back to Vandermerwe, chased by Aubrey. Vandermerwe rims to the corner. Krotz. Krotz has been a menace. Centers it, quick shot. Gio can't convert. Krotz to the point, Simon can't keep it in. Here comes Picardi. Picardi down. Pumps, gets through. Boyd had to make a sharp start. Collected by Kamish. Kamish sends it around the boards. Danielle Kamish can't get it out. Collected by Vervey. Vervey, quick shot. Rebound. Puck just cleared out. Intercepted by Kamish. Kamish Sends it in. Kamish fires it around the boards. Funny bounce, almost comes out in front of the net. Vandermerver being chased, puts it around the back of his net. Collected by Malangeni. No, it's Chu, sorry. Vandermerver. Vervey. Vervey. Up to Chu. No, that's Malangeni. Samai can't get it away. Collected by Vervey, no. Headman's into Picati. Picati, quick shot. Saved by Boyd. Center pass, comes back to Vervey. Vervey centering it to Chu coming in. Can't get a shot away. Simon headmans it. Can't get it out. Collected by Malangeni. Baker at center ice. Baker headmans to McMood. McMood, quick shot. Just missed the far post. Not by much. Kept in at the point by Morris. Comes into Vandermerver. McMood, quick shot. Easily saved by Mueller. Here comes Kasana. Morris takes it out. Morris getting up the middle. Morris, quick shot. Blocked by Vervey. To the point. Overy keeps it in. Here's Gio, quick shot. Saved by Mueller. Kings putting on some pressure against this Cap team early in the second period with a little over 3 minutes and 45 seconds gone in the marker. Dubuisson versus Kleitz to the left of Mueller. Face off, a bit of a draw. Fenter brings it out. 1-on-3. Fenter gets around traffic. Fenter the break. Fenter shoots. Scores! Reinhard Fenter beat 3 Kings for an impressive goal that puts the Caps ahead 2-1 at 4:10 of the second period. Reinhard Fenter with an impressive individual effort to score the second goal unassisted for the Pretoria Capitals and putting them ahead 2-1 in the first quarter of the second period. Van Duisburg wins the draw. Plays it back to McMood. McMood. Far side pass to Baker. Goes a bit far, but has to be played by Mueller. Long stretch pass for Bacati. Shoots. Saved and tossed aside by Boyd. McMood rims it around. Van Duisburg gets it out. Shot back in by Chu. McMood, long stretch pass for Samai. Intercepted by Vervey. Van Duisburg, stretch pass for Baker. Vandermerver and Baker battling for it in the corner. Goes to Picati. Puts it up the boards for Chu. Can't get it out. Quick shot by McMood. Didn't get through. Here comes Picati. Bounces it off the boards. Here comes Malangeni to Chu. Chu dodges a hit from the Kings. Kings can't get it out. Head pass. No. Samai. 1-on-2. Samai slowing down. Waiting for support. Kings are on a change. No one was there. Back pass to Overy in the corner. Overy. Puck leaks to the far corner. It's Kasana. Headmans it. Gets through. Here comes Chris Fenter. Chris Fenter, far side. Dances around. Weak shot. Saved by Boyd. Puck comes out. It's Roger. Shot deflected. Roger on Morris. Morris spinning his own zone. Picked up by Gio. Gio to Schultz. Back to Gio. No. Gio breaking his zone. Gio looking for help. Centers it. No one home. Roger in the corner. Roger behind his own net. Picked up by Kleitz. Loses it. Dubuisson. Quick shot deflected. Mueller had to be sharp on that shot with a great deflection in front. The Kings bringing pressure. Shot from the point. Bounces wide. Kamish. Back to his brother. Intercepted by Vandermerver. Kamish. Headmans it to Kamish. Intercepted. Taken by Dubuisson on the boards. Picked up by Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg by himself. Trying to wheel and deal. No one else to support him. Centers it. Intercepted. And Fenter gets it out. Back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud headline pound to Samai, who chips it in on net. And a save by Mueller, which is held for a face-off in the Caps zone. Van Doesburg versus Chu, won by Chu. Gets it kept in by Samai. Mahmoud, quick shot from the point, deflected high. And there'd be a face-off again to one side of Mueller. Van Doesburg telling Samai where to go. Van Doesburg will try and draw it back to Samai. He fails. Chu wins the bottle. Malangeni puts it up, giving a hard chase. Goaltender Boyd. Samai leaves it for Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg controlling the play. Van Doesburg picked up by Baker. Baker chips it in. Mueller gives it to Vandermerver. Vandermerver levels Baker, no call. It's Chu in the corner. Chu headmanning it to Malangeni. Mahmoud to Samai, who tips it in the corner. Picked up by Vervey. Vervey to Vandermerver. Back to Picati. Behind his net. Intercepted. Intercepted by Brandt. Brandt, quick shot from the point. Mahmoud. Slapper from the point. Pad save by Mueller. Vandermerver. There's an injured player on the ice. An injured Kings player. It is Obery, I think. No. It is Brendan Schultz. Brendan, no, it's not. It's 14. Morris. Brandt. Matthew Brandt? Matthew Brandt. Matthew Brandt. I didn't see what happened whether he blew a tire or he got checked into the boards, but Matthew Brandt is injured and receiving attention from trainer Carolyn Lauter of the Kings, as well as the medic for SA Ice next to the team bench. The referees are conferring. Play will resume with 9 minutes gone in the second period, and the Capitals maintaining a 2-1 lead against the Kings. The Kings are upset, and trainer Lauter is explaining the severity of the injury to the officials. Who are unmoved by her information. Face off just outside the Capital zone. It'll be Kamish versus Kleitz. Danielle Kamish wins the draw. Mahmood collects at his own blue line. Mahmood. No, there's a bad exchange in front. Recollected by Simon. Intercepted by Fenter. Puts in the corner. Chased in the corner by Reinhard Fenter on Mahmood. Mahmood gets to it first. Kings can't get it out. Kamish and Vandermerwe battling in the corner. With Diane Kamish and Reinhard Fenter waiting. Reinhard Fenter comes out with it. Stick handling in the corner. Fenter puts it back to the point to Radu. Radu, quick shot. Tossed aside by Boyd. Kamish can't get through. And finally the Kings clear it. It may not be enough for icing. Icing is waved off. Radu rims it around. Kept in by the Kings. Centering attempt by Kamish. Back to the point. Quick shot from the point. Wide. Kept in by Simon against Vandermerwe. Puck rimmed around the corner. Coming in hard. Puck battle is Fenter, and there will be a penalty against the Pretoria Capitals. 2 minutes against Devon Vandermerwe. It looks like for high sticking. We'll hear the call now from referee Jason Van Rooyen. 2 minutes for high sticking against the youngster Devon Vandermerwe at 10:15 of the second period. Face-off will be to the left of Mueller. It'll be Samai taking the draw for the Kings against Vervey for the Capitals. Let's see if they can't get it out. Quick shot by Van Duisburg-Fandot, and the Caps clear it down. Let's see if the Kings can capitalize on the man advantage power play and restore equilibrium to this game. Up to Gio. Gio can't take the puck. Shot back in. Mahmood. Mahmood. Here comes Samai. Samai from the point. Samai tries that. Quick shot. Tossed aside by Mueller. Back to the point again. Mahmood in the corner. Samai centers it. No one home. Tossed aside by Chu. Collected by Boyd. Boyd leaving it for Mahmood. Cape Town changing players. Getting the wave ready. Up to Krotz. Krotz dumps it in the corner. Turned over. Here comes Malangeni. Malangeni tied up by Obery. Finally gets the puck back to Mahmood. Mahmood to Morris. Morris to Krotz. Krotz carrying it in. Offside. With 48 seconds left in the penalty to Vandermerwe. The score remains Pretoria Capitals 2, Cape Town Kings 1. With the Kings unable to capitalize on their man advantage so far in this period. Dubuisson against Kleitz. Kleitz wins the draw. Back to Vandermerwe, who shoots it down the ice. Boyd leaves it for Simon. Simon to Kamish. Kamish. Hard pass to his brother Diane. Intercepted by Vandermerwe. Kamish. Kamish is hurt. Vandermerwe shot the puck down the ice and it hit Diane Kamish. We'll have a stoppage of play while the trainer comes on to the ice to attend to Diane Kamish, who's being carried off the ice. It looks like his knee. The shot must have hit his shin or back of his leg, and he'll have a painful bruise tomorrow morning. Hopefully nothing more than that, but trainer Carolyn Lotter will take a look, and hopefully we'll see Diane Kamish back in the game. I'm advised on the knee, side of the knee. The puck hit the side of the knee. That's a bit more serious. Let's hope it's nothing too bad. Baker at the blue line. Baker skated in. Baker tries to center it, intercepted by the Capitals. Tion Vandermerwe shoots it down. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Devon Vandermerwe. for high sticking. So far the Kings are unable to capitalize on the man match. Here comes Baker to center ice. Stuffed. Saima. Uthman Saima rims it around. Kept in? No. Leaks. Here comes 2-on-1. Vandermeer right off the box to Skosana. Skosana back. Intercepted by Simon. Skosana in the corner. To Kleitz. Shoots off the crossbar. Stefan Kleitz had Boyd beat, but the crossbar is the goalie's best friend. Couldn't get it into the net. It remains 2-1 with 7 minutes left in the second period. Fenter scores! Sharp angle shot from the corner by Fenter. Boyd just left a little gap there on the short side. And Fenter was able to exploit that weakness and give the Caps a 2-goal margin, with that goal scored at 12:48 of the second period. Reinhard Fenter with the third goal of the game, and we'll see if there's any assists. Unassisted. Number 8, Stefan Kleitz also with an assist on that goal. So it's Fenter from Kleitz giving the Caps a 2-goal margin roughly halfway through this match. Schultz tries to clear. Here comes Krotz. Fenter turns and fires it into the King zone. Boyd to try to get to Morris. Turnover. Here comes Kamish. Kamish carrying it in. Kamish with speed in the corner. Kamish centers it. Just wide by Gio. Gio to the point. Shot from the point. Deflected in front. Collected by Radu. Can't control it. Vandermerve. Kamish on Vandermerve. Vandermerve gaining speed. Headmans it to Picati. Picati. Checked by Simon. Baker tries to send it in, but a bit too early. So it was Boy. Boy sends it in, but a bit too early. And it'll be icing with the face-off coming all the way back into the Kings zone with a little over 6 minutes to go in the second period. 3-1, Capitals over Kings. Paulson versus Dubuisson. Face off a draw, ultimately collected by Dubuisson, who tries to get it out. Leaks across. A foot race between Boy and Vandermerve. Got in by Buisson. Shoots. Offside. Not any lower. Here come the Caps. Vandermerve. Lead pass to Skosana. Skosana. Simon. Kamish shoots it down as the Kings change personnel. Van Doesburg coming in from the side. Van Doesburg centers it. Tossed aside by Mueller. Vandermerve, too much for Paulson. Collected by Mahmoud to Baker. Baker tosses it to the far side. Collected by Vandermerve to Skosana. Skosana to Malangeni. Shot. Gloved by Boyd. Going well wide, but Boyd saw fit to snag it and force a face-off in the King zone. Aubry versus Vervet. Won by Aubry. Collected by Gordon. Gordon puts it over to Krotz. Krotz and Vandermerve are battling. Mahmoud behind his net, rims it around. Kept in by Chu. Malangeni and Aubry battling, no penalties. Gio up to Mahmoud. Mahmoud dancing around, intercepted by Pakadi. Pakadi to Vervey. Comes outside the zone and down the ice. No icing. Van der Merwe. Tossed in by Pakadi. Collected by Morris behind his net. Intercepted by Pakadi. Quick shot. Misses the net. Rebound. Vervey can't collect it. Here come the Caps. Can't get it out. Pakadi, quick shot. Glove save by Boyd. A little over 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second period. 3-1, Caps over Kings. Face-off won by Dubuisson, but corralled by the Caps. Here's Fenter. There will be a penalty. High sticking on Fenter. Chris Fenter will get 2 minutes for high sticking at 16:13 of the second period. Chris and his brother John having a few words before Chris takes his seat in the sin bin. Let's see if the Kings can go it. Mahmoud shot from the point, doesn't get through. Puck loose in front, shot from the side. Cleared by the Capitals and down the ice. Corralled by Boyd, who leaves it for Mahmoud. Challenged by Van der Merwe. Mahmoud up to Baker. Baker tips it in, apparently before the red line, causing icing. They'll come all the way back into the King zone. With 1:36 left in the penalty to Fenter. Chris is the oldest of the three Fenter brothers playing for the Pretoria Capitals, with his brothers John and Reinhardt. Face-off won by the Kings, with Mahmoud skating out, headmanning it off the boards to Baker. Baker crossing the blue line. Baker Van der Merwe clears it down. Here comes Boyd, chased by Reinhardt. Fenter back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud turns it over to Fenter. Fenter, there'll be a penalty on the Kings, saved by Boyd. It looks like Simon. Simon will get 2 minutes for high sticking. Number 23, Ethan Simon, will get 2 minutes for high sticking at 17:05 of the second period to nullify that man advantage for the Kings, and we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for most of the remainder of the second period. Aubry wins the draw to Morris. Morris can't get it out. Morris behind his net. Takes it to Gio. Gio, headman pass. Here goes Aubry. Partial breakaway. Aubry breaking front. Aubry shoots. Pad save by Mueller. He had Pakadi on his heels. Here comes Morris. Morris with a centering pass. It's blocked by Van der Merwe. Puck leaks out in front. Crosses the blue line. Aubry to Mahmoud. Here comes Kleitz. Passes back to Fenter. Fenter. Shot just wide. He had Boyd sliding out, but could not put the puck between the pipes. Van Duisburg. Mahmoud. Bit too far. Van der Merwe to Kleitz. Kleitz back to Pakati. Pakati to Venter. Venter tries to get around Mahmoud. Venter and Mahmoud battling on the boards. Van Doesburg with the puck. Tipped by Kamish. Icing is waved off. Van der Merwe rims it around to Susana as the Kings make a change. It is now a power play, a 30-second power play for the Capitals. A good forechecking job by Uthman Samai. Quick shot, goes wide. Morris keeping it in. You would not know the Caps were on a power play. All the pressure coming from the Kings. It's Samai in the corner. Samai to Samai. Leaked out. Gets past Gordon. Here comes Pakati. Pakati in the corner. Pakati centers it. Stopped by Boyd. Samai. All even. 46 seconds left. Simon in the corner. Vervey collecting the puck behind his net. Taken by Fenter. Fenter. Long stretch pass intercepted by no! Skosana gets by Simon and taken out by Schultz. With Pakati coming in late. Boyd had to be sharp. Here comes Gio. Gio to Aubry. Back to Gio. Gio tries to get it back, but it's offside with 13.6 seconds left in the second period. 3-1. Pretoria Capitals over the Cape Town Kings. Face-off will be outside the Capital zone. Face-off won by the Kings. Back to Mahmoud. Mahmoud. Shot in offside for the Capitals. Now it's good. 3 seconds left. The puck shot by Van Doesburg to Mahmoud to end the period. A hard-fought second period between the two teams. But the Pretoria Capitals scoring 2 goals to take a 3-1 second period lead over the visiting Cape Town Kings. Join us after a short intermission where we'll interview Jacques Van der Merwe, head coach of the Gauteng IceHawks and a national team men's and women's coach.
That's what you would do 5 games in 4 days.
Welcome back to the rubber match between the Pretoria Capitals and the Cape Town Kings. And I want to apologize to goaltender Ruan Van der Merwe. With 5 hockey games in 5 days, I've been mistaking him for Ivan Mueller, which is a pretty hard thing to do. So my apologies to Ruan Van der Merwe, who's had an outstanding game, keeping the Capitals ahead of the Kings in this rubber match between the two teams. I'm joined now by Ruan's father, Jacques Van der Merwe. Jacques is a legend within the South African ice hockey community. He is the head coach of the IceHawks, which has produced some stellar talent since its inception, including Stefan Kleitz and his children, Tion, Johan, Ruan, and Stefan. and Devon, and a young daughter quickly climbing the ranks of the female women's ice hockey in South Africa as well. Jacques, just speak to us a little bit about what it means to be a head coach of a hockey club in South Africa.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me. It's actually a huge privilege, to be part of such an amazing sport in South Africa, and to be actually be part of growing the children, from learning to skate and then seeing them playing their first game. That's what it's all about. And being the head coach just makes it so much more special.
And what have been some of the highlights of your years as head coach of the Ice Hawks?
When one of the first players I coached actually made the national team, that was a huge one. When my kids started making the national team, obviously we're in it for everyone, not just for them, but that's extra special.
And you've since become a long-standing coach of different national teams, both on the women's and the men's side. Let's talk about the women's program to begin with. What's your assessment of the women's teams going into the IHF season this year?
So 2 seasons ago we entered the first under-18 national girls team. We had 2 tournaments so far, so we're busy preparing for our third. Currently, like Jason Surf said last night, we don't have a country yet to play in for next year, but we need more numbers. We've got so much skilled girls coming through the ranks, but you need at least 18 players to go on tour. And it's sometimes difficult to have 18 players rock up for trials, and you actually have to take all 18 just to be able to go and compete. Or to qualify to actually play in the tournament. But to get a good level team with, just 18 players, it's difficult.
And what are some of the challenges that ice hockey, women's hockey specifically, in South Africa faces relative to the teams you're playing internationally? The deficits that the South Africans have to overcome against their competition?
So the pool we're playing in, it's not like with the boys, where the countries that they play in is similar in terms of the amount of ice rinks, the amount of ice times, the challenges that we've got. We play in a very higher league, so it's difficult to get in. We play against Belgium. It's countries that's been playing hockey at under 18 for quite some time. And the other challenge we've got is hockey is not seen as a women's sport in South Africa. So it's supposed to be butch and men playing and checking, and the girls can dish it out, but it's difficult for dad to bring down his girl to start playing hockey.
And just for some of the viewers out there, explain some of the key rule differences between women's and men's hockey.
So one of the biggest things is women's hockey got same directional contact instead of full-on contact, where with men you can check a guy right from the front if you're playing the puck. So it's more aggressive with the men, but with the women you have to move in the same direction. That's one of the key differences between the two.
And where are the tournaments this year? And you mentioned some of the countries you'll be playing, but what are the dates and how are you liking your prospects?
So I'm only involved with the under-18 girls this year. I know there's a team going to Kyrgyzstan, there's a team going to Bosnia, the men are playing in Cape Town, the senior women are playing in Estonia. So yeah, it's countries that's been playing hockey for quite some time. Estonia, we'll see how it goes with the women, because obviously it's a different country. I think it's the first time they're ever going to travel to Estonia.
And maybe give us a few highlights of your men and women, the tours you've gone on, maybe some war stories you can share with us to bring some context and color to the tours you've been on.
So memories is getting to a country. We played a tournament for under 20 men's in Querétaro, Mexico. The rink was just built before the tournament. The ice was so bad. Denzel skated a lap and there was like a speed hump on the red line where it lifted him off the ice. And you had to adapt. You just had to get on the ice as a team and bunker down and do the little things right, keep it simple, and try and make the best of it.
And what's it like taking women on tour versus men's? Are the women better behaved than the men?
Women are definitely more serious. If they commit to something, they definitely zoning in more than the boys. I always thought I'll never coach a women's team until they selected me the first time for the under-18 women's. And I must be honest, it was one of the best tournaments I had, not to take anything away from the boys, but it was a rookie team. They'd never been exposed to international tournaments, to go on that journey with them. You know, with the boys, there's always players that's been there. They done that, and with especially the under-18 girls, you know, every time they go on the ice, it's something new. You know, so you're part of a journey of creating the future for hockey in South Africa.
And part of every tour, obviously, is you get at least one day off, and the team gets a chance to explore the cities. What do you think it means to young South Africans to have a chance to be exposed to different cultures and countries?
Look, I must be honest. If I talk from my own kids going on tour, you know, if it wasn't for this wonderful sport, they would not have had the opportunities to go overseas. You know, it's pricey, it's costing a lot of money, but the assistance from SIIs and IIHF, you know, actually make it that you can experience the world and represent your country. So that's pretty special, you know, to see them go overseas as a South African for the first time, and you know there's no other way they would have had that experience. That's pretty special.
Jacques van der Merwe, the head coach of the Ice Hawks, and also a national women's coach for the South Africa women's team. Jacques, thanks for joining us, and before you leave, we've got 20 minutes of hockey to play. Can I get a prediction off you? Final score tonight at the close of the buzzer?
I would put my money 6-2 on Capitals.
6-2 on Capitals, and if you had any one player for the Capitals scoring the winning goal, whose number have you got?
Reinhard Venter has been quite on fire tonight, so I think he might be the one.
So they've heard it right from the mouth of Jacques van der Merwe, a 6-2 victory for the Pretoria Capitals with the winning goal scored by Reinhard Venter. Jacques, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, welcome back to the SA Super League Ice Hockey action from Festival Ice Rink in Pretoria. South Africa. We're about to begin the third period. It's Kleitz versus Van Doesburg, won by Kleitz. Venter shoots it all the way on the ice. The pad save by Boyd. Radu centers it, couldn't get through. Kleitz around the back, picked up by Baker. Baker skates out and rims it down the ice. This will be icing. No, it's waved off. Samai beat it, centers it, comes in front. Tossed aside by Van der Merwe. Van Doesburg tries a no-look shot to the center, doesn't get through. Samai in the corner. Kleitz on Samai, comes out to the point. Mahmoud shovels it back in. Samai, quick shot, just misses the top shelf. Samai fakes a shot around behind the net. Samai centers it. Venter intercepts. Venter tries to get it out. Kept in by Baker. Baker, quick shot from the point. Deflection. Van der Merwe had to be sharp on that. Comes out to Venter. Venter on a breakaway. Reinhard Venter comes in, blows a tire, goes around the net. Centers it, scores! Van der Merwe with a wraparound pass from Reinhard Venter puts the Caps ahead 4-1. That's definitely Devon Van der Merwe from Reinhard Venter at 1:01 of the third period, and we'll see if they gave a second assist on that goal. Okay. No, 7 from 14. Stefan Kleitz also getting an assist on that fourth goal for the Capitals. Tough hit by Van der Merwe against Krotz, collected by Malangeni. Malangeni comes around to Vervet. Gio can't get it out. Gordon intercepted by Vervet. Gio wheeling at the line. Pass it off to Morris. Morris, weak shot behind the net with Gio chasing it. Leaks in front. Van der Merwe had to be sharp. Kamish. Chu can't get it out. Krotz. Krotz tries to center it to Kamish. Kamish. Just out. Krotz at the blue line. Flicks it in. Taken out by Chu. Dumped in by Kamish. Kamish chases Van der Merwe. Cross ice pass to Picardi. Picardi to Vervet. Intercepted by Kamish. Here comes Kamish. Kamish to his brother. Kamish rims it around the boards. Tion Van der Merwe gets it out. Cleared by Paulson. Back to Mahmoud. Long stretch pass. Too much. Picked off by Roger. Roger. Too much to Paulson. Chased by Skosana. Skosana behind the net. Centers it to Paulson. No high sticking. Here comes Samai with Van Doesburg. Samai 2-on-1. Samai, fans on the pass. Picked up by Van der Merwe. Up to Paulson. Paulson can't corral it. Comes back to Van Doesburg. It's offside. Still offside. Delayed offside against the Kings. Still delayed offside. Finally brought out by Roger. Corralled by Mahmoud. Stretch pass to Morris. Baker can't collect it. Here's Kleitz. Kleitz centers it to Van der Merwe. Doesn't get through. Baker puts it down the far ice. Good hustle by Obery. Obery gets Venter. In the corner, Obery wheeling and dealing behind the Caps net. Aubrey taken out by Fenter, picked up by his brother Reinhardt. Fenter passes it to Kleitz. Simon rims it around the boards to Kamish. Kamish gets it out. Kings going for a change. Fenter to Fenter. Across the blue line, takes a shot wide. Puck comes out across the blue line. Collected by Vandermerver. Vandermerver to Fenter. Chased by Kamish. Collected by Morris in the corner. Oh, a heavy hit. No. Oh, there is a penalty now. Now there will be a goal. The ref's hand went up late, but there will be a penalty. There'll be a roughing, charging against Radu, who's arguing his case vociferously against the ref. There'll be Radu with his second penalty of the night at 4:40 of the third period. For boarding. Radu, 2 minutes for boarding at 4:40 of the third period will put the Kings on a much needed power play if they have any hope of closing the 3-minute gap. The 3-goal gap currently separates the Pretoria Capitals from the Cape Town Kings with a score 4-1 in favor of the Gauteng team. Face off to the left of Vandermerwe. Be Malangeni in the circle against Van Doesburg. Won by Van Doesburg. Quick shot by Samai. Can't get through. Collected by Picati. It's a 2-on-2. Picati and Malangeni. Picati shot. Deflected. High into the rafters. Face-off will be Picati against Van Doesburg to the left of Boyd. Won by Van Doesburg. Kings can't get it out. Finally across this to Samai. Samai headmans it to Baker. Icing's waved off. Battle for puck in the corner. Kept in by Simon. Simon to Baker. Baker to Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg to Simon at the point. Simon back to Van Doesburg. Takes a quick shot. Blocker save by Vandermerwe. Corralled by Simon. Across to Mahmoud. Blocked by Picati. Here come the Caps. Long shot down there. Shot down by Simon. Malangeni versus Simon. Puck collected by Van Doesburg. Across to Mahmoud. Intercepted by Fenter, who just touches it into the corner. 30 seconds left in the penalty to Guillaume Radu. 2 minutes for boarding. So far the Kings have not been able to generate much offense with their man advantage, and the Caps send the puck back down the ice. Gio back to Simon. Simon, long stretch pass. Put in by Aubrey, who goes for a change. Icing is waved off. Teams are at even strength. Radu looking for a long outlet pass. Can't corral it. Gordon to Gio. Gio to Kamish. Kamish coming in. Kamish and cross. Kamish shoots. Hit the crossbar. A missile from Kamish. Over the shoulder of Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe might have got a piece of it, but it definitely touched metal on its way over the net and into the mesh. Face off will be to the left of Vandermerwe. with 12 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third period. The Kings looking to quickly close the 3-goal gap. Face-off won by the Kings. Quick shot on net, saved and frozen by Van der Merwe. Dubuisson versus Chris Venter, won by the Caps, can't get it out. Puck's in front. Dubuisson versus Skosana. Kept in, quick shot from the point. Van der Merwe had to be sharp with that missile from the point. With both teams changing with 9 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third period. Face-off will be to the left of Van der Merwe. It's Melangeni versus Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg wins. Puck leaks outside the zone. Mahmoud pressured. Gets it in. Intercepted by Van der Merwe, who shoots it down the ice. Icing's waved off. Morris and Picardi battling for the puck in the corner. Melangeni and Baker. Picardi comes out, turns around. Picardi over to Van der Merwe. Quick shot from the point. Doesn't get through. Icing Morris just a bit early in that headman pass down the ice. Face-off will come back to be one side of Ryan Boyd. Face-off Kleitz and Van Doesburg. Won by Kleitz. Van der Merwe spins it around behind the net. Kleitz centers it to the point to Venter. Venter, quick shot, wide on the net. Retrieved by Kleitz. Can't control it. Van Doesburg fans on his outlet pass. Morris to Samai. Samai, far side to Mahmoud. Mahmoud streaking down the ice. Mahmoud gets by Radu. Mahmoud rims it around the net. Collected by the Caps, who will slow things down. The Kings make a change. Van der Merwe, Venter chips it in and chases. Quick shot from a bad angle. Boyd save. Gio rims it around to Obery. Collected by Kleitz. Venter looking for Van der Merwe. Center pass. Van der Merwe couldn't collect. High pass. High saucer pass not collected. Obery to Simon. Simon tried to get it to Gio. Venter controlling the corner. Centers the pass. Can't collect. Radu up to Kleitz, just turns it into the corner as the Caps go for a change. Mahmoud to Obery. Obery to Dubuisson. Dubuisson headmans it to Commish too much, and it'll be icing. With 9:09 to go in the third period. Dubuisson versus Paulson. Dubuisson wins the draw. Can't get it out. Dubuisson headmans it to Commish. Commish racing for the puck. Van der Merwe's on Commish. Takes him out hard into the boards. Here come the Caps. Paulson centered ice. Paulson chips it in the corner. Paulson and Simon. Paulson centers it. No one home. Van der Merwe collects it. Defender intercepted by the Kings. Here comes Obery. Oh! Obery sandwiched by two Capitals. And Obery is injured on the ice. And here comes the trainer, Carolyn Lotter, to attend to Alex Obery. Is it Obery? No, sorry, it's Commish. is Danielle Kamish. Danielle Kamish was sandwiched by two Capital players as he tried to cross the blue line. Captain Uthman Samai arguing his case vociferously with referee Van Rooyen. Here's Danielle Kamish getting up. Danielle Kamish looks to be okay. He's getting off the ice on his own steam. Going to have a sit down and be attended to by trainer Lauter for the Cape Town Kings. A heated discussion still going on outside the Caps blue line about the non-call on the hit to Danielle Kamish. Face-off will be outside the Caps zone. And the Capitals have called a 30-second timeout. As we have a break in action, we just want to thank again our sponsors, Manzi Water, Spar Cullinan, and Spur Oak Ridge for their steadfast support of the South Africa Super League tournament. Their sponsorship makes a big difference to the quality of the tournament and the ability of players to pursue their passion for ice hockey in South Africa. Face-off outside the Caps D-zone, won by the Caps. Comes back to Fenter. Fenter just lifts it across center, chased by his brother. Reinhard Fenter can't get through Mahmoud. Capitals spin and turn it, goes wide. Picked up by Baker. Baker up the boards to Samai. Samai crosses into the zone. Samai, quick shot on net. Good pad save by Van der Merwe. Simon in the corner. Goes through to Kleitz in the far corner. Kleitz fans on his pass. Fenter. Fenter up to Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe ices it down the puck. Played by Boyd. There'll be no icing. Boyd to Mahmoud as the Kings change. Here come the Kings. Aubrey. Aubrey forward to Baker. Couldn't corral the pass. Here comes Van der Merwe. Long bank pass to Fenter. Fenter sends it to Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe going to take a quick shot. Van der Merwe shoots. Good save by Boyd on a tricky shot by Van der Merwe. Here comes Aubrey. Aubrey, quick shot. Goes wide. Puck kept in. And leaks out. Here comes Chu chasing Gio. Gio with the puck. Gio spins, centers it, intercepted by Vervey. Vervey, quick shot! Gloved by Boyd. And a turnover in the King zone almost cost them another goal. But Ryan Boyd quickly stuck out his mitt and snagged that puck. 7:01 left in the third period. The score is 4-1. The Pretoria Capitals over the Cape Town Kings. Vervey versus Vervey versus Dubasson. Puck at the corner. Van der Merwe at the point. Quick shot on net. Loose puck. Corralled by Vervey. No. Turnover in the zone. Here comes Malangeni. Malangeni can't get it. Breaking through. Picati. Picati can't control it. Vervey banks it through, intercepted by Simon. Simon. Check to the blue line. Carried in by Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg. Over the line. Van Doesburg. Quick shot blocked by Tion van der Merwe. Kept in. And ultimately out Kamish. Diane Kamish. Working its magic inside the blue line. Can't get it through. And collected by Morris, who skates behind his own net. Turnover. Morris. Cape Town Kings having trouble getting out of their own zone. Here comes Baker. Pressured by Malangani. Finally corralled by Samai. Samai out to Van Doesburg. Van Doesburg. Mahmoud blows a tire. And Boyd has to come in to rescue. Boyd dancing in front of his own net with the puck. Finally out to Van Doesburg. Collected by Samai. Back to Van Doesburg, who was going off. Picked off by Robinson. Robinson back to Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe to Sakasana, who puts it in and reverses. Baker. Krotz coming in. Krotz might get a shot. Wait a bit too long. Samai back. Samai shoots. Shoots again. Van der Merwe with two good saves. Collected by Gordon. Gordon to Simon. Simon to Baker. Shot down the ice by Skosana. Should be icing. Icing's waved off because Boyd played it. Boyd to Gordon. Long lead pass to Obery. Icing's waved off. Obery's gonna get a shot. Toe save by Van der Merwe. Gio can't get the shot away. Fenter, end-to-end action. Dubuisson shoots it in the zone, collected by Fenter. Obery, Reinhard Fenter gets it out all the way down the ice. This should be icing. Waved off. Shot from behind the net, saved by Boyd. Fenter from the point, gloved by Boyd, and holds it for a face-off. End-to-end action as the Kings try desperately to claw back 3 goals with only 4:15 left in the third period. Dubuisson versus Kleitz to the left of Boyd. There seems to be, there's a projectile on there's a stick on the ice being retrieved by referee Van Rooyen. It'll be interesting to see if head coach Gavin Smith and assistant coach Sharif Kamish pull Boyd at any time in the last 4 minutes with the 3-goal deficit. Right now, Caps are controlling the play. Kings can't get it out of their own zone. Mahmoud lifts it over to Danielle Kamish, too far. Corralled by Fenter, up to Kleitz. Kleitz going wide on Mahmoud. Pass it to Van der Merwe, who can't get a shot away. Here comes Simon. Simon can't get it out. Fenter keeps it in. Fenter centers it to Van der Merwe. Shot by Kleitz goes wide. Corralled by Boy. Boy to Simon. Simon just gets it out, but Kleitz intercepts and dumps it back into the corner with 3:23 left in the third period. Boyd is still in his net. Comes out to Simon. Simon can't corral it. Here's a 2-on-0. It's Malangani and Piccati. Scores! Malangani! Top shelf. Bar down on the glove side of goaltender Ryan Boyd on a 2-on-0 after a Kings turnover. That's number 15, Langa Malangani, with the 5th goal for the Capitals at 16:48 of the third period. We'll wait and see if there's any assists. Unassisted. So it's 15, Langa Malangani with a top shelf rocket over the shoulder of Boyd to put the Caps in front by 4 with 3 minutes to go in the third. Here comes Vervey. Vervey skating in the zone. Vervey, quick shot. Turned aside by Boyd. The Caps with all the pressure. Van der Merwe in the corner. Shot from a sharp angle, saved by Boyd, who holds it for a face-off with 2:37 left in the third period. Stefan Kleitz in the corner, centers it, hits the post. Fenter, shot wide. Radu at the point. Radu to Fenter. Fenter behind the net. Fenter puts out to Fenter at the point. Shot, blocked. Here's a break. Intercepted. Here's a break. Here comes Krotz. Krotz, come in. Just got to, shoots. No! Hits the side of the net. Fenter just got a stick on it, but Krotz still got it away, but just hit the side of the net. There will be a penalty called against the Capitals. Against Captain John Fenter. Captain John Fenter will be going to the sin bin. For hooking. 2 minutes for Fenter for hooking at 18:03 of the third period. Let's see if Smith and Kamish pull their goaltender. Unlikely with a 4-goal margin, but it'll be 5-on-4 hockey for the remainder of the game. Face-off won by Van Doesburg. Quick shot by Samai. Van der Merwe had to be sharp to save that shot from the high slot from sniper Uthman Samai. Bacardi. Face-off won by Van Doesburg. Another quick shot. Pad save by, quick shot by Mahmoud. Tipped by Samai, goes wide. Van Doesburg controlling the puck. Van Doesburg can't get it. Here comes Malangeni. Malangeni and Bacardi. Shot wide. It's got deflection frozen by Boyd. Face-off will be to the left of Boyd with 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the third period. Aubry versus Kleitz in the face-off circle. Face-off won by Kleitz. Can't control it. Kings come out quickly. The break. Head to Gio. Doesn't come through. Offside. Krotz tried to headman it to Gio, but just couldn't get through the Caps defense, resulting in a face-off just outside the Caps blue line with 1:27 left to go in the third period. It'll be Kleitz versus Aubry. Face-off won by Kleitz, but corralled by Mahmoud. Mahmoud puts aside. Skosana fans on it. Collected by Simon. Gio headmans it to Krotz. Krotz back to Gio. Into the corner for Aubry. Aubry and Skosana battling. Skosana shoots it down the ice. Corralled by Boyd. Simon from behind his own net. Last minute of play in the third period. Simon, one last rush. Checked by Fenter. Fenter with a hard forecheck. Reinhard Fenter centers it. Stefan Van der Merwe can't get the shot away. Here comes Dubuisson. Dubuisson headmans it to Kamish. Boyd to Kamish. Kamish, far side. Shot. Saved. Loose puck. Loose puck. But saved by Van der Merwe. And a whistle before any controversy over the loose puck. 37 seconds left in the third period. Capitals changing. Dubuisson, Kamish, Boy, Mahmoud, and Simon on for the Kings. Face-off won by the Kings. Back to Simon. Simon at the point. Quick shot. Tossed aside by Van der Merwe with his blocker. Puck back to Kamish. Daniel Kamish loses it. Kept to the point by Mahmoud. Mahmoud in front to Boy. Boy couldn't redeflect it. Boy with the puck left for, I can't see it, Simon to Mahmoud. Mahmoud intercepted by Malangeni. Malangeni puts it up. 9 seconds left. Here comes Pakati. Pakati shoots high over the net. 3 seconds to go. Last shot for Boy, and the period ends before Boy can get a shot off. 5-1, the final score. Pretoria Capitals prevail over the Cape Town Kings and remain undefeated after 4 games. 4 games? More. Remain undefeated so far in the South Africa Super League tournament.
Chris is not there. Chris he's coming. And we need Gavin. Gavin. Okay, you gonna do both of them?
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all the players in tonight's hockey game.
Chris will do both. The player of the match for the Pretoria Capitals, presented by referee-in-chief Errol Scatafouris. For the Capitals, the player of the match.
Hang on. Other way around, eh?
No, Chris can't give it to his own team.
I know, but you can't give Capitals first. First star.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, we'll go to the Cape Town Kings first. The Cape Town Kings player of the match, presented by South African Ice Vice President and GIA President Chris Venter. For the Cape Town Kings, the player of the match, number 8, Wesley Rose.
And now for the Pretoria Capitals, the player of the match, presented by referee-in-chief Errol Scatafouris. For the Capitals, number 20, goaltender Ruan Vandermeer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to an exciting end to the hard-fought hockey match between the Cape Town Kings and the Pretoria Capitals as the players exchange handshakes, which was one of the most treasured and time-honored traditions of ice hockey everywhere in the world. You can travel from North America, Canada, America, into the deepest, darkest parts of Siberia, Russia, Scandinavia, and after every hockey match you will see players in the customary exchange of handshakes after a hard-fought match. Adversaries on the ice, friends and drinking mates off the ice. Thank you for joining us for another great match in the South Africa Super League tournament. Join us tomorrow night from the Grove Ice Rink at 6 o'clock, I think, eh, Etienne? At 6 o'clock tomorrow night? For the final game of the Gauteng leg of the South Africa Super League tournament. Tickets are only 50 Rand a person, very affordable. The price of 2 chocolate bars gets you into the last South Africa Super League ice hockey match at the Grove Shopping Centre at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow night at the Grove Shopping Centre. Thank you for watching this great match between these two warrior teams. Good night and God bless.